This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Ghetto. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to our next edition of Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's a pleasure to be your host. My name is Valentino, a.k.a. Scrooge, or numerous MP, governor, whatever you want to call, have so many nicknames. That's a lot of respect has been gained over the years, and a lot of people call me different names of what I do in the community, so they give me the title as MP, JP, so it's very nice. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259, and you can text us, powered by BTC, at 422-GR96, and you can listen Cable Bahamas, I think it's 961. You can listen also. I think the 969 channel is a little down, but you can listen to 961, and you can listen to the show as we speak. And yes, it's a pleasure to be here again this Friday. You know, over the last month, we have been talking about the crime issue. This will be my final segment talking about the crime until June. Okay, to see how things fan out, to see if the government has made any adjustments or any progress, or find alternative solutions to the country's crime wave that we're experiencing. So I'd give them some time as June to see if they have introduced programs, has it been effective? Is it going to be effective? Is the strategy is going to work? Well, we're going to have a discussion on that also today when we see in the newspaper, expect even more aggressive policing. And I really want to get to that topic because it's very important that public know what's about to come. Innocent and guilty. The innocent are going to suffer for the guilty. So all those guys who are out there raping, robbing, and killing, you know, you're going to make it hard on a lot of pedestrians driving in their car, walking in the streets because the police don't know who the criminals are. They wear the same clothes as me and you. They drive some of the same cars as me and you. Only one thing, they change their license plate. They steal our license plate, steal your legit license plate, and put on a stolen car license plate so the police cannot detect them. So these guys are very smart. So expect even more aggressive policing. And I think that I'm going to give the general public some tips on how to protect themselves from the police on their aggressive approach. So we do that halfway through the show. But I just want to talk about our topic today. We're going to talk about the effects of the crime advisory given by the United States of America, their embassy around the Caribbean. They gave a travel advisory for the Bahamas, Jamaica, and a few other Caribbean countries. And I want to say, you know, and how it's damaging us. And us as Bahamians, you know, the image that we begin portray, you know, given the spree of over 20-something murders in January. You know, there's an uproar. There's a lot of public, talking, voicing their opinion, and, we need to do this and we need to do that. And, our image is being damaged, and it is not being fully explained to the guests that visit our shores. We're on record pace for guests landing in the Bahamas alone. And now we have this travel advisory, and we're seeing the effects of it. And, this effect, I'm going to show you how that affects us as Bahamians as well. So let me begin the show by just talk about the travel advisory. The U.S. State Department gave it a travel advisory to its ministries in the Bahamas and Jamaica to warn their citizens of the updraft and violent crimes happening in the capital of Nassau. I want to remind those who are listening and those who live abroad in the States. I want you all to send a message to your friends, people who would travel to the Bahamas, or comes to the Bahamas on vacation. I want you to say to them that their lives are not in danger when you come into the Bahamas. Okay? We are the most sincere people when it comes to guests because we understand the importance of our economy. And our economy is based mostly over 60 to 70% on the tourism industry. Over the course of our tourist production in the last, say, 70, 80 years since we started doing business with America, and they're allowing us, and we signed a treaty in 1973, agreement in 1973 to allow the American visitors to come to Nassau New Providence so that they could spend a few dollars and create an economy for the Bahamas. Over the course of the time, we have created a great relationship with America, with Canada, with Europe, We are the most lovable set of people in the world. That's why you see we're not on the stop list to travel nowhere in the world. If we could travel anywhere in the world, we're not on the stop list. We're not terrorists, We're not assassins, We're not looking to take over no one country, So Bahamians are free to go anywhere in the world. There'll never be a travel advisory or to watch out for Bahamians, That's why we could go on our police record to America. Isn't that right? Now, our government, especially in the office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Tourism, has dropped the ball on this particular matter. They have. Because what they have not been able to do was to explain the situation against this travel advisory. The first thing they were supposed to do, the public relations officers of the Ministry of Tourism were supposed to do their research and understand that if you do the statistics properly, right? Do the statistics properly. So that when the U.S. gives out their travel advisory about violent crimes in the country, you would be able to respond by saying this. We have had 60-some murders this year alone in the Bahamas. We've had a few armed robberies. And if you look at the statistics, it shows you that it's basically black on black means the assailant or the attackers or the perpetrators were either harming their brothers and sisters, meaning our next Bahamian who lives in the country. They were either taking their lives or they were robbing them. In some cases, men tend to rape females because, some things happen, I'm just talking and using this as an example, okay? So when we look at that, we are supposed to say we do have a crime problem in the country, but it's not against our visitors that come to the Bahamas. The statistic shows that in the Bahamas, we have 60-some murders. I'm just using this as an example. We have 60-some murders this year alone, and those 60-some, they were all Bahamians who reside here, okay? And it's a problem we've been facing now for the last 40 years because of our negligence to really address the problem in our country. We're working aggressively to try to find solutions and alternative measures to combat the travel advisory and to make sure that we can continue to do business with America and to make sure that we can make the travel advisory decline, making non-irrelevant because we are your neighbors and we are your best friend. You use our waters, you use our airwaves, you use our airspace. You use our waters to test your submarines, your nuclear submarines, and people don't notice, All of the nuclear subs that the U.S. has, they trade in the Bahamian waters, Do you all know that? I hope you all know that. Yeah, man, them same subs, them 100 million subs and $200 million subs and stuff, they'd be training right here in our waters around these 700 islands and 700 keys. I hope you all know that. Yeah, like I was saying. Okay, let me get some water to drink. So, yes. And they're also supposed to say, there are crimes against Bahamians. And Bahamians, if you look at the statistics, you would see where guests are more likely to get an accident on motorbikes, death by motorbike accident, death by common sharks that frequent our waters in the Bahamas. We'd have tourists, who would get bit and they would lose their lives. We have tourists who would come to the Bahamas, probably get an accident on a motorcycle and lose their lives. And if you look at the statistics would show you where there's basically no violent crime when it comes to murder or attempted murder against the 8-point-some million visitors on record base that has entered our shores for the last year alone. Okay? So we're supposed to have the public relations officers explaining this to the U.S. Embassy. They're supposed to be on the news explaining these things. Because basically, we don't harm tourists in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, there's some allegation being made about rape allegation against certain entities in the Bahamas. We're all saying this where people would come from America, come to the Bahamas, and they try to come up with some kind of scheme to sue a company or whatever it is. It's just that thing in America. Some cases, it can be true where Bahamians would do one or two little bad things, We ain't perfect, but it's not 1% or 100. We don't even have 1% like that. Where we have high rape against tourists, high murder rate against tourists, high robbery against tourists. It's non-existent in the Bahamas. We do have it, we'd have a murder every 15 years where some nincompoop who don't have no self-awareness to do something so stupid. So we're supposed to address it. And we're supposed to address it by sending these audios to Canada, the U.S., and to Europe, where all of these guests who comes to our shore, especially the cruise liners. And we need to talk to the cruise liners also and explain to them, stop telling them, do not come off the ship. If you're coming to the Bahamas, don't say them kind of things, else we don't want you to come here at all. Because you're damaging, you're stopping the Bahamian people from having a productive financial life. Because if the tourist stays on the ship, then no money is spent. So what sense the cruise ship coming in the harbor, parking there, and the travel advisory and the ship's captain, liaison officers telling them not to come off the ship. So they're staying in the harbor, and not going to none of the stores and stuff like that. And what's the fare? There's nothing to fare. Okay? And let me just say this. As far as I'm concerned, I'm glad the travel advisory was given to the Bahamas, because now we see we have to pay full attention to our crime problem. Because every time we throw a Band-Aid on it and things start to be a success, now you see this travel advisory come. Why is we on a record pace now? Now, it has cost $18 million loss as a retailer, was selling to a buyer. I think over Paradise Island. Let me see what it is. He's looking to buy Paradise Island, Ocean Key. He had a sale where he's going to sell a house and a condominium for $18 million. Now, the travel advisory came in effect, and he got scared because he think his life is threatened. No, sir. It's me, Valentino Brown, and all the rest of the Bahamians in this country, life are threatened. Not you guys. You're all safe. Us? We target practice because we ain't getting it right. We playing the ping pong ball, and we ain't getting it right. So all you guests traveling and coming to the Bahamas, you're all safe. Okay? Yeah, so this guy, he lost $18 million, just because the travel advisory was given. And then there's some people complaining now on Fish Fry that they're not seeing no guests, like how they were seeing it like about 2 weeks ago before the travel advisory. Okay? And that's the fault of our government. Okay? You're supposed to have this data. You're supposed to send this data. Now, what we need to do now is try find creative ways now on how we're going to invest to stop this travel advisory, because this travel advisory is not going to go nowhere. These murders are not going to go nowhere. All right? They are not going to go nowhere. All we got is coffins, and I hope I ain't one of them. Okay? So that's why I try mind my own business. Hey? Do what I can in the community so that people see that I'm sincere. Stay out of people's business and just be a caring person. Mind my own business. You understand? And if I could see a conflict happening and I could stop it before I get to that exit lake to a certain point, then I do that. Help as many people as I can and still stay out of people's business, because even though I can help you, right? I know some people, just ungrateful. But there's ways to work around them. You learn all kinds of things in the community. Boy, living in the community, listen to me. If God didn't make me rough and tough, listen to me, I'd have been finished. You understand? Because people will run all over you. Don't care what you do for people. They talk behind your back. You can't pay that no mind. You just got to keep on doing what you're doing. But the same people who are right on the side of you and you're doing all kind of stuff for, they'd be the same one to switch on you because they're jealous of you. You'd be, and they're jealous of you is something that they cannot have. You get that gift from God. They can never have that gift because they was not chosen to do it. They were chosen to do some as well. But they just fail to not focus on their true purpose, but watch other people. And that's why they're not successful, because whilst they're watching other people, those people are progressing. And they're getting the blessing from the Lord. And while they're trying to pull them down, your blessings again take away because you're not focused. You understand? So yes. Yeah. So all that has been affecting us, and we have to do a better job of it. It's unfair for us as Bahamians to hear the travel advisory when all of you know that we're not going to hurt no tourists. Now, many of these guests comes over to the Bahamas and they lie on a lot of Bahamians. The other day, similar to this incident, I don't know how, if this is a similar situation, but if you could remember, I think it's about 3 years ago where a guest was in a hotel and then this employee was in the room, and then all of a sudden, she made a complaint that he assaulted her and blah, 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 blah. And the guy, got fired from his job and then, went to court, and I think his mom dead or his father dead at the same time. And because if he'd have gone to court and plead not guilty, I think they're just going to let him sign his bail. I mean, how to get his bail signed, so he don't want to avoid all that or something like that. And I think he pleaded guilty, And when it comes to finding out, the guy was telling the truth, and the female lied on him. So we have these guests that comes to the Bahamas and do these things because that's what they do in America. They'd walk in the food store and slip down and break their hip bone, and they throw down some water, and when no one looking, they'd go and slip and break the hip bone, and all of a sudden they suing Walmart. Then when the camera shows you where the person that intentionally threw their cell phone on the ground. So you just don't know what to believe in a lot of the American guests who comes to our shore. And most of them come to have sex with black men. And a lot of them get shamed, that when pictures taken and they come here and they with them jet ski guys, and that's why we got to teach our jet ski guys that keep it professional, and they only guess, and you're doing business, you got to keep them off limits, You could do it in your own spare time, you change numbers and et cetera, but as long as you're on your job and stuff like that, leave these guests alone, because if you they come here to fantasize, and when they do fantasize, some of their friends take pictures, and then you're a black person, and then it starts to share, and then they, oh no, I get drug and this and that and then I got press charges. That time they didn't even know it didn't even know the truth. You just got jiggy, see a black handsome Bahamian guy, and you do your hanky-panky, and then you get catch, but then you don't want to get catch, but you got to come with some kind of story to make it look good, because you probably have your boyfriend or your family, and they could be racist or non-racist, but this is what it is. See, when I speak reality and what has actually happened. I might not speak proper English, but I speak on the topics that needs to be spoke upon. Knowledgeable about it as well. Okay? So yeah, that's what's be going on. Yeah, so that travel advisory, that shouldn't be a fact for the Bahamas. What we need to do now is try to see how we can deal with this crime issue. And the only way we're going to deal with the crime issue in this country is to deal with poverty and to build again a strong family structure with aunts, uncle, godmothers, cousins, and everything, and have a lot of family reunions. And let's find out who we are as Bahamians again. But the only way to do that if we empower citizens for themselves to become self-efficient. And as they get stronger, they start to make changes, in their lives, because they could be able to better finance themselves. They could be able to better help their family who has an idea and just needs a little $5,000 or $10,000 to push this idea. And you never know how and what it could turn into. It's the only way for us. It's the only way for us. Okay. Now, let me see where I am now. That's the travel advisory. On the effects of it. And I already talked about the effects. Now, let me go to this. Expect even more aggressive policing. What does this mean? I want the general public to be very, very cautious in the statements being made. I said earlier, the innocent is going to suffer for the guilty. When there's a more aggressive policing, it means that the police are going to be pulling over innocent people, right? Listen closely. The police are going to be pulling over innocent people who have not break no law. And because the car looks the same in a shooting or armed robbery, or you're driving irregular up and down the streets, and they pull you over, listen to me. Pull over on the side. Put your hands up. Listen to me. Put your hands up. Don't say a word. Okay? If you have a driver's license or you have some type of identification on you, make it present by holding it up in your hand. So he don't have to ask you, what is your name? Okay? It takes away the fact that he has to run your name through the computer, even though he will. But it takes away the fact that he has to go run your name through the computer, and you didn't give him the right name, and then now he has probable cause to search and detain you. Far as I'm concerned, that's their attitude. I hope that in this aggressive policing, which is on scream now, because we can see the police all around us in New Providence. Okay? And how our officers are not properly trained with anger management and how they speak to Bahamian people. So this is going to be a very tricky and dangerous situation for us as a country because of this crime issue in our country and this travel advisory. This is a very tricky and dangerous thing. I'm advising persons who cars are not licensed, are not insured, please go park those cars. Because I saw it the other day on Facebook where a lady, I think she was driving the car, and boy, I know where she living. And the police just light that car right up. Okay, and unfortunately for her, she was not even hit. Okay? So I want you to be very vigilant. And if the police sirens are trying off, please don't speed off. Listen to me. The wrongest thing you could do is speed off from the police. They're going to open fire. Listen to me. Right now, how all this killing going on, you think these police taking any chances? They ain't taking no chances because their superior telling them, boy, chief, we done had 20-some murders this year alone. It's the hardest it's been in the last, 50 years in the first month of January. You got to go home to your family, Mistakes will be made. Listen, mistakes will be made. Police shooting will be made and mistakes will be made because, like I say, the innocent will suffer the guilty. You innocent, you might be breaking the law, smoking a joint in your car, you and your friends, them, and you're riding around, and you see the police and the police trying to pull you and you get party, you get a little joint and you go speed off. You get spank up. And when they mean spank up, or when they say pick up corn, spank up means the police shoot you up. Corn means, like I always explain, is bullets or shots. We call it corn. Like when you get shoot up, we call it, boy, if he get multiple shots, we say, boy, you get all kind of corn. You understand? They will spank you right up right now. The police on high alert. I'm advising the general public. I'm advising young men, if you're walking around with your pistol or whatever, you better go take that and bury that. All right? I mean, it's not going to stop a lot of young men in the country from moving around with their guns. But I can tell you this. If you are the one of the 100 or 200 roaming around the streets, and you're the one get catch in a position with the police, buddy, you better be a good shot, because you will be a goner. And you can't run from the police. Eventually they would get you. They have a new set of officers coming every 6 months or a year. So you was a bad boy. Why is you sleeping? You have officers who ain't sleeping, who coming on, taking shift. So you can't beat the system. And I learned this myself. That's why I become a productive citizen and now giving back and giving advice to the next generation. Okay, so let me advise all of y'all out there. There are going to be many complaints made against the police. And this is why it's so dangerous. With all these cars and these cars involved shooting, where we have a lot of cubes rolling around the streets in Nassau and Providence. I want to advise those who driving those cubes and the more Honda Fit, be very careful because they're red alert from the police on these particular cars. So if you have a Honda Fit or those little small cars, listen to me. Make sure you have your proper driver's license, your inspection. Make sure your car's not too dark. Make sure they can see you, all right? And if the police pulling you over, if you don't have nothing in your car, I know if a little joint or whatever it is, the police might give you a break. So officers, let me say this to you. If you run the people named through the system, right, officers, I know a lot of you all be listening to the show, okay, and a lot of people listening to the show as well. And the guy get a little joint or the girl get a little joint in the car. If you run a name through the computer, you know what I mean, and she is not wanted, he or she is not wanted, and they have not breaking no offenses, man, you could give them a blight if they get a little joint. But like I say, it's up to the officer. They're the judge, jury, and executioner. I would advise them to waste the court time, But a lot of people would run away from the police in these Honda Fits and stuff like that because, most people like to drive around and smoke because that's their thing, They put on their music and they just drive around. They're breaking the law by smoking illegal marijuana. But listen, illegal marijuana is smoked in the whole entire Bahamas. Everyone who has a family smoke marijuana. All the police who are family members, their sons and daughters, they smoke marijuana as well, okay? Police officers' sons and daughters smoke marijuana too, okay? In their houses, in their yard, because they know it's only marijuana. Let's be real now, okay? Let's be real. So have mercy on the citizens. If they don't act disrespecting the officers, and it's your attitude as well that allows the officer to be judge, jury, and executioner, also to be diligent and vigilant in his job. It's based on how he approaches the pedestrian and how the pedestrian or the motorist approaches the police officer. And if them two can, good night, like for instance, like this. Just say you're in a fit. There's some advice to you. Or in any kind of car now. You see the red light, and you see they pulling you over. So what it do? You might have a little joint. on 2 drinks. You know, I say they can let you go, but in most cases, you know, I got let go a few times, you know. I got let go a few times. Officers catch me and they say, man, run my name to the computer. And they run my name to the computer. They say I was in one, and some of them know me. They say, man, where you go with your business, you know? Because it saves the court time. Now, I'm not saying that they're not doing their job, but I want a small thing. I'm like, come on, man. You know? So just say, you know, they pull you over. You're a little frantic, you're scared, you know? Because that's the police. Your freedom on the line. You know, a lot of people have attacks when they see the police, you know. See, people have panic attack, you know. Listen to me good. Listen to me good. Some people have panic attack because they've never been in a situation. I've been locked up over 1,000 times in my life, and I watch people come in the station. They can't even be in the cell. I say they have to take them over the cell. They claustrophobic. They have a panic attack because they've never been in custody, you know. Some people have been free all their life. And the minute they get put in a cell, they start to freak out, pull their hair out, and can't believe it. And, you know, it's serious. People have panic attack. So you want motorists seeing police siren, and it could, you know, by mistakenly see them make a wrong turn, and, you know, they're smoking, and they try to speed off, and the police go behind them, call backup, and then they make one little right turn, and then you could get it. You know, you could get it. And the police don't know who is the criminals nowadays, especially, you know, with the high rate of crime. So they're very aggressive. So I want to advise mothers, fathers, talk to your children. If they live in the house, advise them if they see the police, and the police is aggressive on the streets and they don't have no legal fine. Make sure, tell them don't have nothing illegal inside your car, you know. Some people tell them, you know, you're smoking a little joint, just be careful with that. Don't put nothing in the car. So talk to your children. Talk to your female child also who going on these cars, and et cetera, because there's a lot of traffic accident happening as well. You know, so talk to your female daughters and stuff like that. Tell them be careful who they're going in cars with. Tell your son be careful who they're going in cars with. If you see a gun or a big quantity of drugs or a lot of alcohol, I tell them, say, that's not the car they're going. You know, avoid that. Make right choices right now. And I want to say again to all the motorists out there, when you see this type of crime happening, you could afford to be innocent. This stuff, you would suffer for the guilty, and that's because, again, of the crime crisis we face in the country. Okay. All right. And we're going to have to continue to find solutions. And what I don't understand is, why do we want to keep on doing aggressive policing every time we have a crime spree, like if this is going to solve anything? Yeah, saturation patrol is going to slow down those who are traveling around with their guns, you know. And sometimes the police will be able to apprehend those who are carrying firearms or who are about to commit an offense. Okay, but what about preventative measures before we even get to this? You know, because we've been doing this in my time. Listen, people, listen to me good. You see this here? Aggressive policing. We had that back from over 30 years ago from the gangs and all the drug dealers, you know? It still ain't working. It slows down a little slightly, but it is not solving the problem. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of time. What we need to do now is find preventative measures so that our youths don't be in the position they in today, and that is because of poverty. Okay? Yes, we're going to do this aggressive policing. We're going to go on the streets. We're going to stop motorists. You know, some of them, we're going to be over aggressive. You know, and this the thing what's so dangerous about being so aggressive. You know, when you're getting orders from your district superintendent who in charge of the district of officers, and he's telling you, you know, you're going home to your family. So when them officers go out there, some of them, you know, are not properly trained, and some of them themselves, you know, criminals themselves, you know, in the way how they think and the way how they treat citizens and the way they speak to citizens, you know, because assault is assault, you know. You understand? Because officers themselves, by their aggressive approaches, make the citizens themselves, okay, very agitated. And then they respond back to the officers, and then there's the back and forth, and then there's the curse word, and the officer saying he would do this and I'd shoot you. You know, the officers, listen to me, the police officers say some serious things to civilians, you know. You know, in the same way, civilians be saying some rude, cruel things to police officers, which is wrong. But I mean, the police officers sometimes say, you know, if you get in an argument, they say, boy, I'll shoot you right in the head, you know. And these are threatening words, and this is what has disturbed me, you know. If I say it to somebody, if I say it to Dwight Scrawn, the general manager of the Guardian Radio, and I say, boy, Dwight Scrawn, boy, I'd shoot you in your head, right? And he go to the police station, he put in a complaint. Immediately, I would be locked up for threats of harm. But the police officers themselves be saying these are civilians on a regular basis, inside people's houses, in their private yacht, in their car. Some officers be saying these things to individuals, and then this is course the individuals to say things back to the officers. Then we look, they get locked up. Resisting arrest, obscene language, disorderly behavior, and a whole heap of crap. But what happens to the officer? So that's why I say the innocent are going to suffer for the guilty, and all this is because of our crime issues in our country today. So all of us are going to suffer until we get this right. So you see, the other day I was watching this video about when a young man got killed in Bainton, and the family was having a reunion, and the father was speaking, you know, and I just listened to see if people be telling the truth, you know, and I listened to him, and I could tell I have a discerning spirit, and I could see deep down inside he was really hurt. And you could see, you know, he was speaking the truth. And he speaked on the matter, you know, that I think it was his son his son got killed, and they started to have a little setting up. He said that, you know, there was no disturbance called. But it seems like the officers had a vendetta because they think the officers killed him. Yes, the officers killed his son. Now, to his get-together, you know, because of circumstances, these officers was present at their get-together. And in response, you know, they agitated the family. And the father was speaking. And he speak highly, speak highly with the police. He said, they got a job to do. We understand all that. But he said at night we were just having a family get-together, celebrated the death of my son. And the way how the police officers, carried on, was unnecessary, I'd see if we were being disorderly and etc. But he also stated that the police agitated the situation by firing off the firearm in the air. And then by firing off the firearm in the air, there were a lot of young kids around in the yard. So when they did that, everyone get agitated and then, start to come on to the police and say, y'all didn't see these kids in family, why y'all shoot these guns? Then backup was called. So who was in the wrong yard? I thought the police were supposed to protect and serve. Why would you want to go to a situation where you knew that the officers themselves were responsible for the death of a loved one of a family member and they're having a get-together and you're going to go there knowing that, the government itself responsible. I don't know if it's justifiable shooting or whatever the situation, but either way, why would you want to go to the family and terrorize the family? That is wrong. That's why I'm saying, we need the police, but we don't need that kind of attitude. And that's what we're talking about. We're going to take this call on Guardian Radio. Good night, caller. You're on Inside the Inner City on Guardian Radio.
I'd like to speak with Mr. Brown.
Yeah, you could speak to him. You could go ahead.
Pardon?
You could go ahead. You could just turn on the radio just a little bit, please.
Right. I like what he's saying about when the police go to people's homes. What I don't understand with people, especially this young generation, they start to carry on and case and carry. The police are not terrorists, not all of them. They're taking you to question you or get to the bottom of whatever reason they were called there for.
Yes, sir.
And there's no need for them to incite it. The little children see these things, and this is how it is continuous.
Yes, sir.
Because the police are not, if they come there they came, first of all, to check and see what is going on here because somebody called. So they don't have to carry on like they're carrying them to a dungeon and they're going to be shot or hanged. The police carry you, question you, and turn you loose if it isn't serious. Next thing.
Go ahead, sir.
You said something that I found very interesting. I didn't know I was claustrophobic.
Go ahead, sir.
Until I was in Rome going up on top of the Vatican, because there are steps that they allow you to go up, and they're in a circle and the area is closed in.
Yes, sir.
And you just walking up these steps. I had to stop and turn back because I just felt that claustrophobic feeling, whatever that is, it's real.
Yes, it is real.
And I had to wait for about 100 people to pass me because it's so tight. But
Yes, sir.
I couldn't go any further.
Yes.
I had to turn back around.
Yes.
But the advice you're giving these, especially these young children, when the police stop you, yes sir, no sir.
Yes, sir.
Like my friend used to say, you yes sir, no sir, them to death. They say this boy must be in the choir.
That's what saved me.
Yeah, okay. And the next thing with this marijuana, this is not going to stop.
No.
You can find marijuana any minute of the day.
In every neighborhood you go in.
I say every minute of the day. It's so much here you can find it within 5 minutes if you really. Let's be logical.
Yes,
About
sir.
5 minutes you can find it.
Yes, sir.
So we need to come to grips. Like you said, all this money we're spending on this, especially the marijuana part of it. I don't think people. Now, if you're trafficking
Yes, that's
and
different.
don't have a license,
Yes.
just like everything. Some foods, if they catch you with,
Yes,
some
sir.
creams, if they catch you with, they lock you up, take your business
Yes, sir.
license.
Yes, sir.
Because of what the amount of the context or whatever it is you have. So you just apply it to that in a sensible
Yes, sir.
manner. Because I can't understand for the life of me how alcohol is a licensed thing, and we have all these alcoholics on the road walking. People are by the bar 8:45 in the morning waiting for the Chinese to open. And nobody seems to think anything is wrong with that. That's the amount of idle people we have who getting drunk
Yep.
first thing in the morning.
Because they have nothing. They
And the alcoholic isn't as coherent as the marijuana smoker. So they need to look at this. Take the crime out of it.
Yep.
That there alone would save a lot of people.
Yes,
save
sir.
us a lot of time and money. Because I don't know what battle they fight against this marijuana. I bet you can find it every day within 5 minutes.
That means with all this police investment and having all these boats, we only minimize it because it's still here in a large abundance in every community. Every community.
I can see them being more drastic when it comes to cocaine.
Of course.
And these new fancy pills
Yes.
that got coming out. Because you
Fentanyl
really
and
go
all them
into
stuff.
hallucinating.
Fentanyl and all that stuff. That's what the younger people are taking out of fentanyl.
Right. I heard somebody tell me about this lean. It's a new thing called lean.
Yep. And they lean you all right.
That's what they do. You start the lean.
Yeah, they lean you also.
That's why they call it lean. So now this is something I think they need to invest their time in.
Yeah.
How is that getting into this country? Who is bringing that? Now they're going off the deep end now. Marijuana, you shouldn't waste your time with that anymore.
No.
Pass a law on that and let's get moving and let's get now to all these synthetic drugs.
Yep.
People now found a market here for these young children.
Yep.
One time ago, you only heard about them with movie stars.
Yep.
If you can remember Jimi Hendrix and all of
Yeah, I
that.
remember Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, they were the ones what they call funky and on that acid. Back then, when I was growing up, you only heard about acid. Then came the marijuana. But we need to take this mindset out of thinking marijuana is damaging. If you just sit down and smoke it all day, anything you do next
And if you're young, we're not saying take it after 18, 19, 20. You could do that, but if you're in school, we don't want you to use it at all.
No. Let's sit down and get
straight
sensible about this.
Let's just get that straight.
Realize look at the amount of alcoholics out there what the children have to see every day. How do you fix that to where that kind of thing you can see any hour of the day to marijuana, what you don't see? You got to catch the person smoking it or driving around with it.
Yes, sir.
but you see people to the liquor store. That bothers me every morning I'm going up East Street.
And
The Chinese are open
yes,
before 9.
yes,
And
sir.
even women nowadays, they're bold. They go and they buy alcohol early in the morning.
Yeah.
One time ago, a girl wouldn't even drink
No,
when I was growing up.
And I'm glad you brought it up. It shows you the depression and the stress that the Bahamian people are going through. That's why you're seeing it to the Chinese. That's why you're seeing the female go there, because they're looking for some way out. They want to get out this stressful boyfriend husband relationship where ain't nothing working for them. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. I don't want to. I say let Sparky call it a little while.
Man, you sound like Sparky yourself.
No, I like Sparky sitting down fuming. He got something to say.
Sparky, get someone who sound just like you. He's smarter than you, Sparky.
But listen to me. I like to hear you laugh. You remind me of a best friend I had in college.
Yes, sir. Yes, my pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
But I'm going to continue listening to the show, man. I just love listening to you on Friday.
Thank you very much, sir.
Then I go to wrestling.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good about myself, knowing that people take just the time to come and listen to the show. I appreciate it, son.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling you, get a piece of paper behind your name.
Yes, sir, I will.
Because you need to go out to the world.
Yes, sir.
Not just here.
I will. I'm making my move.
They should even think about grandfathering you in, because you have already done so much in the area you want to be a professional.
Yes, sir.
Socializing, meeting people, helping people.
Yes, sir.
That is something it's like social work. They can call it social work, whatever they want to call it, sociology, a sociologist. But grandfather you in instead of having to go to the university.
Yes, sir.
You just do like the last 2 years or something like that, to where you get to the meat of the science.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay? And you can do that right here at the College of the Bahamas.
Yes, I'm going to get some information from you, and I'm going to make sure, listen to me, I'm going to talk to you about it when we meet, and I'm finishing my restaurant in the next 2-3 months. Once I get it accomplished, then I'm going back to study just like you recommend, because a lot of people are telling me that, so it's might as well, let me see where I could go, because I know where my heart is, I have solutions, so let me see where I could go.
And the thing about it, you got youth on your side.
Yes, sir.
And you don't know, right now at the stage you're at now, you don't know where it's going to take you, but
I agree.
Even more so if you get that piece of paper behind
I agree. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to you about it. I hope that we could get together sometime in the near future, probably next month or whenever we have a chance, and then I'm gonna get some advice from you, and then I'm gonna take that advice. I'm gonna apply it.
Tell Shaggy I said good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And you did a wonderful job here tonight. And also those who are listening, who don't call in, I appreciate each and every one of you, because I represent each and every one of you. My only motive or my ambition is to see the development of this country, I listen, man. Listen to me. I'm going to say this. I have a big heart, all right? Over the years, I always had a big heart, even when I was doing foolishness. Anyone could tell you this. I was always positive, even though I was involved in illegal activities. The drug money that I used to make in the community, when I sell my crack cocaine and my marijuana, I used to take the money and buy T-shirts and trophies and have tournaments with that money, And I would be broke at the end of the week or at the end of the month, because at the end I was spending like close to a little $3,000, $2,500 out of the little profit I make. But I always wanted to do it because, like how the gentleman was just telling me, say, I need to get paper behind me. The first time I did it, the second time I did it, and what keep driving me to do the basketball tournament, which I've been doing now for over 24 years, 24 years in the grandson community, which has created great results. And I'm learning a lot of things on how to find solutions by just having those tournaments out there, because of the various kids with a different attitude or different mindset. And I watched them over the years. And I learned, so that's how come I'm able to find solutions to the country's problem or to the community's problem by just watching them, observing, and see how it could work, watching their reaction, talking to them, and see how to talk to them, what to say to them, what they like and what they don't like, So yes. Oh. Yeah. Whew. So the gentleman, he was talking just a minute ago, and I got emotional because I'm going to say some things to the leaders of this country. I'm going to say some things to the leaders of the religious group here in the country. I'm going to say this to business owners. I'm going to say this to all of the NGOs in this country. Find it in your heart. Find an organization. Find someone who you can help as best as possible. Because I want to say this to you. As a Bahamian person, right, I do my best. You know, I struggle at myself, people. Listen to me. I struggle at myself. You hear how long I've been working on my restaurant? Okay? I spend time doing a lot of stuff in the community, working and helping develop, and you know what, I don't do things for money. You know? The restaurant, once I accomplish that, I hope the clientele that I have coming there would be able to sustain me so they could have a nice life off the revenue I make off the business. But I just want to say this, you know. I travel to nightclubs, you know, the local bars in the community, and I sit down and I talk to a lot of females in this country. We talk so much about the males, okay? People, listen, we have some females in this country hurting so bad that they'd make you cry if you talk with them. Some of these girls can't even buy pot. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Some of them can't even pay rent. You know, they have 1 child, 2 child, and they can't pay rent, man. You know, and sometimes I be sitting on, you know, I just don't have it, you know. I just don't have it, you know. I just is in a situation like, this what keep me going, and that's why I am on radio, you know. They have influence those out there, you know, who could just give a little, you know. In a serious state, you know. I tell you what, I talk to these females, man, they'd make you cry. People, listen to me, man. I live in the community, man. Listen, I talk to females, I talk to guys as well. And, man, some people right now are at their lowest point in this country right now. People are at their lowest point, and they just need some help. They need someone to talk to. They need someone to help them. Man, listen, man, I tell you, I talk to some ladies. As well, my friend Conrad Barr. And this girl, you know, she looked at me because earlier I walked there with my cousin. And when she spotted him, she said, you know, that's her stepdad. You know? So I say, Corey. I say, yeah. I said, that's my cousin. She said, okay, he's my stepdad. He said, he's treating me good. So I say, well, who you is? And she tell me, I know her mother. She show me a picture. I said, man, I know your mom, you know? So I asked her, say, which one of the child she is, you know? So she tell me, say, she's with the 3rd or 4th one. So, you know, we started talking, you know. Then she, I bought her a drink. You know, I had a couple of dollars in my pocket. Because like I tell you, I struggle in myself, people. You know, like I say, you see me call some big people name in the country. But I utilize the funds for the right cause, cleaning up the community and doing some work in the community. I don't take people money to go use on my personal use. Unless they give it to me on the side and say, you know, help yourself because you know you're doing a good job. You know, you don't want nothing, but yeah, take this. And that's what people do to me because basically you're going to have to give me it. I'm not going to ask you for it, all right? And if you give it to me to say clean the yard or to fix those, that's exactly where it's going to go. It's not going to go in my pocket or anything to do with me. That's the kind of person I am. I have principle. You see, that would make me different. You know, if I believe I'm better than somebody, it's because I have principle. I have values. You understand? I learned those over the years. You understand? And I will not break that for nobody. No one could offer me no money to break my principle or to break my values because I understand that my body, this body, what I have, is the temple of the Lord. And a lot of people are doing bad in this country. They wonder why a lot of things are happening bad to them. It's because when you violate this body, which is the temple of the Lord, and you have no principle, no morals for this body, if you want to go sleep with 100 guys and you want to go sissy around and you want drink rum all day and you want smoke dope all day, don't take care of your body, you don't want bed. The body is the temple of the Lord. You are a living God. So if you violate this body, there will be consequences that will happen to you in the course of your journey through life. Always remember that your body is the temple of the Lord. Ladies, listen to me. Your body is the temple of the Lord. Okay? Yeah, man, our ladies in this country, you know, are in serious trouble. You know, I was listening, and our ladies need guidance. They need men to guide them. All right? Let me just tell you this now. Females nowadays are just growing up without father figures, and they don't have no man figures in their lives. Single parent mom, after a while, she becomes independent and she don't listen to nobody. She takes on the attitude, not of just a mother, but of a man. She takes on the masculine, because if she have girl kids or boy kids, her soft voice can't work all the time. So eventually, she's going to get very, very, man, listen, all that she has big words. Listen to me, man. I see more cursing towards children from mothers. All right? Hits, like on the arm and on the leg, or the frustration, listen to me, or the frustration. And men, I would say, I don't really like to get in people's business, but when it comes to children or something that happens in front of me, I speak on it and I'd say, hey, man, come on, man. Don't do that, man. I'd say, don't do that, man. That's a child, man. That's your daughter, man. So you can't hit it like that, with the frustration. And the mother didn't mean to really hit the child, She is so frustrated telling us, hey, walk up, you got to go to school, we getting late. And she ain't had no ride, The rain was coming on, you see? The rain was coming on. So I seen all this. And then she started to walk and leave the little girl in the back. And she's frustrated. She turning around. And then when she's turning around, the little girl, was taking a slow time. Because this is a little girl, She turning around and she swing. And when she swing, she hit her. And then when she look at me, and I look at her and I say, come on, man. And I walk with her and I started telling her I walk. I grab the little girl and I walk with the little girl to the bus stop, Then I have my neighbor. She be there, cursing her daughters and stuff like that, We ain't fit, boy. We can get it good in this country, These same little girls could bring children in the world and they're going to do the same thing to their children. And their children are going to be worse than this generation here. They done 13, 14 killing now. They were many years ago, but now it's like, this is a current thing now all over. Y'all know. Be in big trouble, You see the same young ladies who walk around the street and desperate and they looking for somebody they're going to bring children in this world. And these children come in this world and they ain't get no daddy and they ain't get no one figure. Whether it's man, whether it's a boy or girl. And they're going to start off an early life. And they're going to be getting abused. And then at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they become monsters. All right? Some girls today, listen to me. I could say this. Most guys right now say they'd rather be single than to be with a woman right now in Nassau. You know that? Because everyone say these Nassau girls too rough and you can't do nothing for them because they're being broken. Just like the males are being broken, our females are being completely broken. You understand what I'm saying? Different relationship, and after they being through 2 relationships and someone break their heart, they ain't loving no more. And so if a good guy comes along, boy, dog, eat your lunch. And I was one of them. I was a good guy. Boy, listen, I get do so bad. And, hey, some of the girls, I had girls staying by me in my room, in my house, but I never watered with them because I never wanted to take advantage of them because I know their situation. I see that they didn't have no love for me. See, I was a person I could tell you what happened to me. See, that's why I was a realist. All right? I was a realist. I had but 3 girls staying by me in the last 4 or 5 years. And it wasn't really my girlfriend. There's people who live in next door and I had some space. And, they kind of like me. But like I say, how a man go. But, like I say, I was a realist, I can tell you. So, relationship, but they needed a place to stay. So I let them stay in the place, We started to get a little intimate, but we ain't have no connection. So after that, I suppose when I say it's done, it's done. And I never hurt them. I never stopped caring for them. I never stopped doing nothing for them. But it's just that I reach a point where I say, we don't have no connection. And we ain't going nowhere. So it's just we leave it like that. And they'd be by me for a whole year or 2. And sometimes 1 or 2 little things happen to me here and up. But then, I keep it where I want you to be happy. Whoever you with, I helping you and guiding you and grooming you to say, okay, try be a better female, Don't do the things what you do to me and go do to that gentleman, Try, see if you could have a good relationship because you get a son or you get a daughter, You want them to see that you don't have too much man coming in your house and, And, there's understanding. So there's be attached to me. All my friends who my, I want to say, I ain't really had a girlfriend going about 10 years, honestly speaking. All right? Honestly speaking. I just had friends, And I would take nothing serious, but I would do the world for them and help them out the best way I can. And there's no disputing that. And they know that from afar. Yeah. So you get some females, they're broken, man, So you was a good guy and, but they had bad previous relationship. And now you was a good guy and you would be the one for them. But when they had those bad experience, they could treat you like crap, make you want to stop not loving no more. Then you have some girls, some girls who, who are decent women too. Just like the man, and they're decent, they're looking to settle down and whatever. You have the man taking advantage of them, they don't know what they have. If he know what he have, just a wife material. If he know what he have, he wouldn't scam, he wouldn't cheat, he would be home on time, he would make sure help her go to the wash house, they would help clean the dishes. We thinking about a strategic plan on when we have our child and, what we're going to do, where we're going to move in, how we're planning to pay rent for now and then say, next 10 years, towards waking, we can combine together and start to pay a down payment on the house, and et cetera, and et cetera. Then we'd have a next child after that, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we need to do, Because other than that, boy, we in big trouble. Y'all take this from me. You could have all aggressive policing in the world. Hey? That only a mandate approach. All right? We in big trouble as people. I say, if you just sit down and listen and see with your own eyes what I see. All right? It's the whole area that don't be unemployed. You only get a few people employed. You see the same people every day walking around the streets, unemployed. Sometimes they get jobs, sometimes they get jobs, sometimes they ain't getting work. That's how serious it is in this country, man. You understand? We have to get rid of poverty some way, somehow, and bring back the family structure if we want to stand a chance. This aggressive police is not going to work. We've been doing that. Stephen Dye Stubbs is in Fox Hill Prison. Okay, he was the leader of the One Order. All right? Samuel Moshe McKenzie, he was one of the leaders of the Border Boys in the Maras. He got shoot 15 times. And when he got killed, Stephen Dye Stubbs also went to prison ran about a year prior to that. And these guys were considered the two top gangsters along with NRE, right? And so people thought, like, man, they go to jail and this one get killed, that the crime rate is going to stop. The crime rate exploded because the guys themselves have already trained so many different mindset of young guys that they themselves have multiplied. Moshe has multiplied many times in different young guys in the community that you see today. Just like when we were in it, we passed it on, passed on to Moshe them, passed it on to the next generation, and that's how it is. It's just the identity of that person. See, if that person was a violent person, okay, he would pass it on to the next generation of the young guys, and he's going to make some of them so nervy, because they're going to fam, and then he's going to have them around, and, boy, look here, oh, boy, you won't go over there and, boy, the nigga head off, boy, shoot, blow the nigga brain so, boy, I want you, hey, if you don't blow the nigga brain so, these are things, listen to me. See why I can tell you all these things? These are things I used to be saying. You understand? I mean what I say. If I see somebody in the club, let me just say this. That's why I say, if I used to go to a nightclub, let's say back in the day, I'm a little 50 or a little 20 or sometimes it's be 100 of us in the club. Some given night might even be more than that. But some nights we'd end up in little smaller numbers, 20, 50, but it was always a big number. And then someone walk in the club. We'd have our tool, which when I say tool means a gun. But sometimes we don't want to use the gun, because we just want to deal with this boy personally, so we won't give him the knife food. So we'd stand up in the corner there. No ladies and James Charles, Moshe did the same thing when he came in the effect of running the gang, because he came after us. He was on the streets. They came after us. You see somebody in the corner? You see them same little guys? He's a rookie. They want to hang with us? They rookies? Come here, buddy. So you come here. Y'all too. Y'all go across there, and y'all go jug that nigga. Just as well you could go over there and say, y'all go through there and shoot that nigga. And if you don't go over there and shoot that nigga, we could shoot you. Or we could juke you up. And that's what happened to you when you get yourself involved dealing with the big boss them. The big boss them main business. Huh? You understand? That's how serious this is. So now we have pockets in the country. So I'm just giving you a prime example of what's happening in our country. And we're going to have at-risk kids growing up in these communities right now, along with the Haitian population who stagnated here in the country as well. Huh? We'll be in big trouble, you know. We in big trouble. I hope y'all listening. Okay. I see Frankie. What you saying, Frankie? Frankie, you want to call in? Okay, Frankie, I'm going to give her the numbers. Frankie, the number is 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. You can hear me, Frankie? That's Frankie Charms one. And he says Miami 305 is listening. That's my boy Frankie Charms one. You know, so Frankie, are you listening? I'm going to send it to you just in case. 323-6232. Or 325, excuse me. 425. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a lot. Frankie does a lot in his community. Charms one, he has his own import, export business. So if you need car parts, East Street, you know, in the Sunlight Village area. In the Sunlight Village area, and he normally does his give back up in that area, you know, because he makes his business business money in that community, so he gives back. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. And I think that if we create more business-minded people in the community, and we started to create thousandaires and millionaires in this community, and we have it structured where you have your barber shop, I get one little tennis store, you get your cigar store, you get your little convenience store, and you get your ice cream store, you get a little bakery. You know, we all working together as a team, and then we come together as a board of business people, and we could deal with the issue, the ills of the community, like at-risk kids, or who was the bad guy in the area. We know his family. You know, we could work with the church because all of us have revenue, and so we could get together and start to deal with these problems ourselves in this community. You understand? Yeah, so like I say, you could do all the aggressive policing you want. It's not going to change nothing. It's going to slow it down where it make us safe for that particular night or for that particular incident, that roadblock. But has the 100 murders declined over the years? No, it has. We keep on hitting that 100. Then we start over again. You understand? So it's just like we're putting a Band-Aid on it and looking at the fact that when the crime escalate, you know, like it just start. No, we're gonna have to invest. Let me give you a prime example. Let's look at Frankie, 306 Avenue, right? Let's look at him. He's a young guy who came with the gang, and he was my arch rival, right down on East Street, right? He decided, you know, he wanted to change, and he left from here, and he went to the States. He turned business-minded young man. When I listened a couple of years later, all I get, yes, Frankie doing good in the States. Frankie gave business. And look, Frankie Gay store on East Creek. Frankie bringing in our engine. Frankie bringing in a radiator. Frankie bringing in whatever you want. Frankie could bring in. All right. And look what happened now. This is a young guy who was at risk. You know what I mean? Wanted to find a way out. Went into the gang life. See, that I profit him nothing, but most getting killed. Right? And seeing others get killed, uninjured, seeing the whole 9 yards. So he decided to go to the States. Now, let's fast forward now what he's doing. He is giving back in that same community that he ran away from. And now he came and he went back in that community. Now he's giving away, and sharing what you can do if you empower yourself, because you can also empower others. And that's what we're going to have to do in this country. You understand? I feel that anything we do in this country right now is about empowerment and training. I think that anything we do right now in this country, if you have programs, you're going to have to pay the kids. Okay? Get them a sniping and get them a voucher. Any program. We're going to have to develop community centers around the Bahamas. And we're going to have to start teaching a lot of trades. Okay? Ali, I think we get a call on the line. Good night. Welcome to Inside the Inner City on Garden Radio.
Yeah, bless up, Scrooge.
Bless up.
I was just sitting all along. I don't want to take over your show. I don't know if I ever have. And so you had a gentleman last week.
Oh, don't worry.
A lot of false remarks about me, right?
Don't worry about that, man.
All were incorrect because.
Oh, Lord.
But I'm glad they think I'm smart, right? I was smart, right? But firstly, I've never tried to take over your show, Scrooge.
No.
Firstly, I don't critique. I never critique you.
No, listen. That's it. That's his point of view. He has the right to speak.
But he said that he hates.
No, but you can't. No,
talk
see,
science, and I want to
you
be a
can't.
scientist.
Listen.
But I call to compliment you anyhow, Scrooge.
Yeah, no, don't fall
That's
people.
all, but listen to me, Scrooge. Those things are counterproductive.
Yeah.
I'm 60 in August. I don't have time to get visceral or poison on the radio.
Yeah.
We discuss selfless agendas. Now, what I called you for tonight, right?
Hey.
You listening?
Yes, sir.
I've never disagreed with you on this airways.
No.
Because you and I from the inner city.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to congratulate you for painting and portraying the picture of the criminal factory that's being created in the ghetto, in the inner cities, okay?
Yes, sir.
I thought you did a wonderful job. There's nothing much to add to it. But I just would hope that people would hear and listen to what you're saying, because this is somebody had sent a text to Dwight early on and said, where's the criminal factory? But, and it was being facetious, but they know where's the criminal factory. This is the government schools, the inner city, because you just painted the whole social ecosystem that leads to this, where we are today. You understand me? I was listening to you, Scoozy.
I know, man. You do a good, fantastic job, man.
But what I'm saying is, I can identify with what you're saying, even as far as encounters with the police officers. And the thing is, at me and your age right now, the thing is, the young cats, I think they should take Mr. Delaware's advice, because, there's really nowhere for them to go, and this foolishness must stop. But they thought our generation was bad, right? But I wanted to ask you this. When you start talking with this guy from East Street and that's Creamy Family, That's Creamy Family,
something like that.
But you just call Naughty. Well, I know the whole area because I know all of them. The caller last week seems to paint a picture, calling me a scientist. Like he don't think I'm a sweet person because I have this knowledge or whatever. Trying to paint this picture of me. You should have a scientist calling your show. But Susie, the question you should ask and everybody should ask is my statement beneficial or harmful? And so they said that I only called certain shows. I've called Lying You, everybody I've called. I don't know who I never called in Guardian. As a matter of fact, he's 27, so that means he was 17 when I started to call Guardian. So I don't know how he could picture everything that I said over 10 years.
But
I'm not impeded by that. I don't like the hate and the visceral. That's counterproductive.
Yeah, that's just his opinion.
One sheep amongst the other, just give the globalists an upper hand on us.
Yeah.
But like I say, thanks for painting that picture of the inner city, man, Scoozy. And so even with me and you, I could give an account of what happened to me. So there must be a safety mechanism between the encounters with the police and the public. And you heard what you're saying is like they give an excuse now to be belligerent, obnoxious, never forgetting the reciprocity that's needed from the public, the intelligence that they get from the public.
Yes, it's very important.
What I'm saying is the PR should interface with community policing, even though my brother was saying it's different. But I don't know what's the difference
Yes.
between community policing and PR, because all of that leads to PR.
Yes, it is
if
PR.
the public could be more entrusted, because we know what's going on. This island is close knitted. We are easy to ostracize and control and put in fear, and they're allowed to get away with. The things that there's no discourse about what they do to you. That's what I'm saying. The cameras, et cetera, et cetera. But we all fighting a losing battle. And like I say, I was listening to you. Really, like you saying, in other words, you saying me in some deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we in some deep. Yeah.
So the things that I'm seeing, all right, I used to go to Zanzibar from in the 80s, right, Scrooge?
Yeah.
And when they would come in there, some of the fellas would have their gun on them.
Them big 44.
But, some are smart enough to stash it on the outside. But
big 44,
so what the police
357.
would do was, when they hear the police to the door, the police would just send the fellas around the windows.
Just make sure
and then watch the fellas throw their gun and pick up a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can't win this one.
No, you can't.
So, yeah. Bless up.
Bless up. Yeah, man, thanks 52. And he was a contributor, and the guy, 27 guy, young guy, we call him, he's giving us an input, and I'm not taking sides with none of you guys. You guys are tremendous, as citizens, you guys always contribute greatly. Just let's miscommunicating that, and two of you are great guys, and two of you give great comments. So there's nothing for me to really say against any one of you. I just hope that you wake up, reconcile the differences, and understand we're all fighting a battle to improve the country. That's all I want to say. Yeah, and I just want to say again to the general public, I want to say to each and every one of you, be very careful on how the police approaches you, okay? Like I say, if you and those driving those cars and the police is pulling up, put your identification in your hand, you understand? Don't make no for a fast move, because you could actually lose your life innocently, and the police then would say, some type of whatever the situation. But it's only because, again, the crime, and you can't blame the police, because if it's a high crime rate and they're out there doing their job and they're seeing high record number of murders in 1 month, what you think they're going to do? They're going to aggressively approach the general public. They don't know who is innocent from who ain't guilty. So that means the innocent is going to suffer for the guilty. So I'm advising you, if you're innocent, and the police pull over in a timely fashion, have your identification, and don't make no false move. They ask you if you have any drugs in the car, and you ain't getting none. You might have a little joint or two, and he say, if you get a joint or two in the car, let me know, and I'll give you a break. If you get a joint or two, let the officer know. I know if he's a trustworthy officer, because you got to make sure the officer, you also got to be a trustworthy officer, because the officers ask you, if you get anything in this car. If I search this car, you get anything, I can lock up. I looking for gun. Okay? If I find one little joint, I ain't looking for that. So if you get a little joint in the car, let me know. Because if I search the car and they find a joint, you tell me you ain't get a joint, you lock up. So let me know now. So yes, caller, you could call back real quick if you want to. You could call back. We have about 2-3 minutes. So caller, you just was calling just now. If you could call back real quick, we could get you in. So I want to say thanks to my friend Charms One, Frankie. Okay, they're online. Go ahead, caller. You're on inside the inner city. We're going to let you get in.
Yeah, hello, Scoochie. Yeah, I just called back for some clarity. There's no problem with me and the young man,
Okay.
The problem was, hello, Scoochie, hello?
I listening.
Yeah, the problem was he had said we didn't have a gang problem or a crime problem.
Okay.
And so he didn't chronicle his statement correctly, but he gave the problems for the gang and the crime problem. But if he had chronicled his statements first, then it wouldn't have been no critique.
Okay.
But if I come on there and say we don't have a crime problem or a gang problem, I could expect critique.
Yeah.
He didn't chronicle his statements in the right way. All I said is anyone who's saying we don't have a gang problem is taking on the Auschwitz syndrome. I didn't embarrass him or went on with all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't no problem.
Okay.
I don't hold for problems, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
haven't balance within my body now.
That's right.
I run the steps trying to stay healthy. That's up. Yeah, man.
You say you ready to step. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And I want to say again, my friend Charms One, Frankie, for doing such an awesome job down there in the East Coast area, giving back. And people like Frankie, them who could are making the biggest set of changes in the country. And we have to highlight them. I'd also like to say to his wife just recently passed away a few months ago. I had a chance to see Frankie because I know it's hard. When you lose a loved one. So I didn't know how to say and what to say to him, because sometimes you just got to leave people and sometimes you just got to show them love, So I just wanted to, say to my friend Frankie, you're a model Bahamian, you're also a model citizen of the world, and just keep it up, my brother. If you need car parts, export, you could go to Chalmers one on East Street, situated on DeVoe Street on East Street. Okay? Yeah, so players. Okay? We got the next caller? We're going to take this last call. Caller, you get 2 minutes, so if you can make it real quick. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you still there? They laughing. Okay, they left. So, yes. So, we want the police themselves to know that we have a high violent society right now. So, you being aggressive towards the citizen, I can be honest, and you're aggressive towards crime. But being aggressive to the citizen, you know, with some of the how the officers act, it's a very serious thing. You're escalating the crime problem in the country. You understand? Because excessive force could also bring retaliation in the mindset of the individuals. And that's why we're losing respect of the police officers and the police force. You see now we're shooting up in the front of the station. People are shooting guns in front of the station. People are getting killed on the side of the station. People are getting killed in front of the urban renewal station, and et cetera. It tells you broad daylight, why is patrol car passing. It shows you the morals and fabric of the country are deteriorating. We must stop having these single parents and these kids growing themselves up at an early age. We're going to reap what we sow, and we're sowing what we reap right now. Okay? Last but least, there are many young ladies in this country right now need help. They're unemployed, they have children, they have to pay rent, and they have no one to turn to. And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to bring unwanted children in this world. And these unwanted children are going to be some of the coolest set of killers in this country because they have no father figure, they don't have no mother figure, and they have no one looking out for them. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to prey on us because they don't look at us as their brothers and sisters. They look at us as prey. Okay? Until their time come. Okay? So players, be careful. Moving around the streets, the police already said that they're going to be aggressive. Okay? Last call. We get it quick. Last call. Make it real quick, please. Good night. You can turn on the radio real quick.
Hello?
Yeah, so you can turn on the radio real quick, and you got to make it quick because we're completely out of time. Go ahead.
Okay, you turn it on right now.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Okay, you still get it up. Go ahead.
Are you turn it down with me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Scrooge, it's Frankie.
Hey, what's that, Frankie?
Yeah, they good, man.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
New Year.
Yeah, man, to you as well, man. To you as well, man. And you just doing a tremendous job down there in East Street, man.
All right, I appreciate that. I was listening. We driving on the road.
All right, I can hear.
Yeah, man, I was listening to all your points. You had some good points. I've been telling the world there ain't nothing wrong with Bahamas, so don't mind them advisory.
That's right.
That don't go right. That don't go for us. That don't go for the visitors or none of that. So
that's right. Go ahead, my brother.
I've been preaching that, and as a real, true being, I believe in Bahamas, man. So I can make sure spread the good news all the time.
Yes, sir. You was one of those who letting them know that the Bahamas is a safe place for visitors. And you live in Miami, so that just shows you how much we love the Bahamas.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Never afraid to come there. Never once afraid. And I just want to say you, personally, my brother, I know you my whole life, T.A. Thompson, C.W. Davis, Taylor Doug, you're doing an awesome job.
Thank
keep
my
up
brother.
the good work, man. Keep up the good work. I ain't gonna keep you. I know you all gotta go.
Yeah, man.
Let's call my boy for the year because I've been missing.
Yeah, you've been missing. I know. It's hard. I know how to go. I know how to. Someone you love, I know. That's your bread and butter. That's your backup.
Yeah, man.
Man.
So blessed, charm one to the world.
That's my brother. You have a wonderful night. You have a wonderful night. Drive safely, my brother. And hope to
Yes,
see you
sir.
soon. I hope to see you soon when you come down, so because you know you're always invited on the show. So as soon as you touch down, come and let us know what you're doing down there on East Street, Chance
Appreciate
One.
that.
It'll be
Appreciate
my
that.
pleasure, my brother. Lord, my pleasure to see a brother like you who have excelled. You know, you come from nothing, man, Frankie, man. You
Yeah,
understand?
man.
You gotta respect
Yes.
that. And you're giving
Yes.
back, Frankie, man. You're helping a lot of people,
Yes.
Frankie. That's what this what true patriot and this what really being a Bahamian is all about, Frankie.
That's what it's all about, man. I'm
Yes.
proud. Never had a dull moment yet. Proud.
Yes, sir. So drive safe, my brother, man. You have a wonderful night.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for calling in, Frankie. I appreciate you and love you to death, man. That's my boy.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Love you too.
Okay, brother. Yeah, man. Frankie is just a decent young man, you know, and makes me proud to know they're my friends. You know, he helped me out also, you know, and so I gave him a little break. You know, he's helped me out, so I can't go and tax him. You know, I gave him a little year and a half break. Then I tax him again, you know, because he's an extremely decent human being, you know, and he has accomplished so much. And we have to encourage our brothers and sisters to open small business in these inner city community. Like I say, let me explain something to you. If you open up in an area of East Street, and we have a 20 small businesses to start off with, probably 10 females, 10 males, then we have the next 20 here, the next 20 here, and different stuff, you know. There's so much things that can be created, you know. Frankie did Charms One, you know. He come up with import and export, you know. He tried it, and it worked. So there's creative ideas that can come out of this. All we got to do is start to be creative, and let's start a lot of small business in the inner city community. My last thing I'm going to say, I hope that we can be able to build a small business development center in this inner city community funded by government and the private sector. We have the small business with some honor role, some mutual role. If we could get government to invest in the inner city community where we could have the government small business center set up in an area where the community residents don't have to catch bus, don't have to walk far, and they could get proper training, money management, anger management, hospitality, you know, finance, banking, you know, teach them the logistics about how to become a business owner, and also help them along the way on how to save, you know, get their credit card and et cetera, and keep training them. Like in a 5-year period, you'd have them come in and see what they did this year and say you got a double your revenue this year, and you have it like that. And you know what's going to happen in that community? Just like how Frankie's helping out, now I'm helping out. If we can become millionaires in those inner city communities, you know how much people we could be able to help in those communities? And some of these social problems and social ills will never be happening the way they're happening now. But like I say, it's a 20-year plan, and we have to get started. So I'm your host, Valentino Bryant. I'm the host of the talk show Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. I accept holidays. I want to say thanks to my good friend Frankie, 59, all of the callers who call in tonight. I hope I did a wonderful job of explaining the aggressive policing. I hope that the motorists are out there on the streets today. Protect yourself. Answer the officers, yes sir, no sir. Understand? Make sure your rights are not violated. If you're in your car and anyone has any gun or anything illegal, do not go in that car. If there's a lot of rum in the car, you know that a lot of traffic fatality has taken place in the country, and you yourself are responsible for you. You do not need to go in the car, or have a designated driver who is not drinking to drive the car. Okay? And if you're a passenger and the person is driving in a regular manner, you got to speak up and say, hey, buddy, take it easy. You know, I want to get home safe. You know, there's no need, no reason to speed. You know, if not, just get out of the car and save your own life. You might have to walk, but it's better to walk than to be in the hospital or break up. You understand? So, yet again, please, the police are aggressive on the streets and they ain't playing. Okay? Yes sir, no sir. Stop in a lighted area. Put your hands out. Hey? And don't make no false move, because they can let you have it. And that's because crime is high, and they don't know who the murderers are, and they can't really catch the murderers. So you who innocent, if you make the false move and you roll off with that joint in that car and you smoking that and the police give chase and you turn into a dark end corner, and that backup come off you, they gonna shoot that car right up, and the innocent life gone. Okay? So we would like to say to the police also, on your approach to the civilians, there are a lot of innocent civilians out there, and sometimes the officers do not de-escalate the situation. We need officers who are properly trained to de-escalate situation when they pull over pedestrians and when they pull over motor vehicles, to also be respectful in how they talk to the motor vehicle owners. And also, we want the pedestrians or the vehicle owners to also be respectful to the police officer. As long as the officer is not disrespectful to the motorist, and them two is on a good understanding, then we could agree to agree. Okay? We have to have the police on how he talks to the pedestrian in a nice, calm fashion. As long as the pedestrian or the motor vehicle who is driving the vehicle is not being disrespectful or cursing the police, then there's no reason for the police to be aggressive towards that citizen. Okay? So citizens, do unto others as you have others do unto you. So when the police pull you over, you say some nice words to him, good night. If he be offensive to you, record him, and whoever there give witness and go and put in a report. Same way as the police on their approach, even though the crime is high, but not everyone is involved in crime. So even though the police are telling you they're going to be aggressive, they still have to do due diligence in the way how they approach law-abiding citizens who have not broken the law, but they could fall on the end of the stick because a lot of the police, through this aggressive approach, and the superintendent or the district superintendent tell them to be vigilant, they take this and they go above the law and they be very disrespectful to the Bahamian public, and we cannot allow that. Okay? So I'll see you next week on Garden Radio, and I hope I did a wonderful job.